Hey, who do we have today, Mr. Craig Pretzinger?
Oh, dude, Mr. Jason. We have insurance automation domination with conversion king Austin Moorehead.
Woo-hoo-hoo. That sounds...
Heard of him?
Oh, dude, this is going to be insane.
It is going to be insane. I would prepare yourself to have your head melted.
Roll the tape.
Welcome to the Insurance Dudes, a podcast for insurance agency owners, helping us to think of different ways to optimize our business and our lives.
I like that, man. Like, got it all postered up. Like, kind of reminds me of my high school days. You know, my favorite bands on the wall.
Jason,
That's what I'm going for. I'm literally recreating what I wanted as a teenager. You know.
Now you're an adult, no one can tell you no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My wife does it. So this is what I found out too. A lot of insurance agents have their wife that come into the office. So they have to like do the office up kind of.
So she approves, yeah.
what's considered professional?
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife never comes. She doesn't want to come here. She wants
My
nothing
wife
to
won't
do
come
with
to.
it.
In 4
My
years,
wife's like, I don't want to watch you.
She's been here twice in 4 years.
It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You talk about it enough. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even want to hear about it.
I'm like, babe, can you just come have lunch with me like once a
Right.
quarter? You know, I just once a quarter come over here and have food with me. Never gonna happen.
It's like they're embarrassed to show up and be associated with this
Yeah.
guy that
She's
Hey,
actually
there's
one
a-
of my biggest lead sources. She works for the DMV at headquarters, and she gets clients coming in that got problems and that need kind of solved on the spot. She'll send us leads.
Wow,
Yeah, it's kind of
Dude.
that's
that is
awesome.
awesome.
Hey, Jason,
Yeah.
I can't
Hey,
see
Craig.
the Back to the Future license plate.
Oh, no. That's a problem.
There we go.
out of time.
Woo. That's my favorite part of the wall, right there. Out of time,
Dude, and it's metal. Like, it's a real license plate.
man. That is something. It's
wonder-
it's the original.
I wonder what a cop would say if they pulled me over because it's got fake 86 tags from
You
1986.
should put it on your card. See how long you can get away with it.
I mean, hopefully
would-
he gets it. You know, he's probably has never seen the movie. These cops that they're all 20. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I should do it. I'd be willing to pay that ticket.
When did that happen? That the cops look like college kids?
It was like a week ago, I think or maybe it was like 6 months ago. I got pulled over for talking on my cell phone. I'm the worst. This kid just comes walking up, and I'm getting ready to call him sir, and you know, like he's my senior. And he looks like he's 22. I'm just like, Jesus, man.
You can't call them sir when they're
When he's my son. I was like, all right, son, get back in the car.
Yeah. Is
What are
your
you
dad
doing in
with
the
you?
street? Don't walk around in the street.
Yeah. Be safe.
That happened when we got old, is what happened.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I started growing some like white hairs in my beard. That was the day.
Yeah.
That's what makes me shave, is because it comes out white.
I love it. Let's do the whole podcast, no insurance.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure. Who wants to talk about that?
are we live? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
We're live?
We
Oh, and it's
usually
recording.
put in-
It's recording, Jason.
Oh, okay.
we usually put in all kinds of weird stuff. I feel like the weird stuff is the fun stuff.
Sure.
I mean, we could talk about policies and gosh.
Yeah.
Why don't we read the policy jacket and then compare it to one of the ones that Austin has? That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So Ricky and I were talking there today because
News
we're
fest.
Indies, and you know, he's starting to you know, find our top 4 or 5 carriers that we're only writing business with. And I'm like, man, you need to go read all of their policies. Like if you just had one company that you were representing, you would know, you know, some of the quirks about the policy language. He's like, ugh. You know, because we just got so many, you know, the
Yeah.
policies are never ending. He'd be back there reading for months.
You
We've
can't
got some
do that.
exciting snooze fest material.
I know, right? So it hasn't happened yet. And there's probably policy language that we're not completely caught up on.
You know, if you did it the way that Eric Brown on the other day said, I don't think you could hit 13 pages a day. You'd get like half a page a day. Eventually you'd get through them.
Yeah.
Oh my
A
god.
couple years
Half a
later,
page, you fall asleep. Half asleep.
a couple years later.
Do you imagine if you did that? and it was all policy jackets, could you imagine how much you would dread that hour or something?
That'd be the worst. I don't
Dude,
even think you could retain it.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't.
It's like reading the SAT questions. Remember, you read it and you go to, you're like, I don't remember. I don't know.
I would quit. I'll be totally.
None of this is good for me. Any of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what insurance is anymore. Honestly, I feel like I haven't been in insurance as much as I sit inside an insurance agency. I feel like I couldn't be further separated at times.
Yeah.
But you do know about automation.
Yeah, I happen to have my finger in automations in the industry more than some. Is that is that a humble brag? Humble brag?
Humble brag.
Humble brag. Yeah, I'm I think a lot of people are doing the same thing right now. We're all trying to figure out the most efficient way to connect everything and to like reduce effort from either the team or the agency kind of as a whole. Efficiency, right? I want the most efficient process. And there's nothing different between captive and indie. We're all going to do the same thing. We're all going to pick up the phone. We're all going to call. We're all going to quote. We're all going to chase that prospect. And then when they're customers, we're all going to do the exact same thing. We're going to talk to them at renewals. We're going to try and cross-sell. Indie or captive, it's the same thing. And all these indies, they think that they have this super unique process. No, you don't. You do not. You're prospecting leads, you're following up, and you're managing relationships. It is no different. So it's you guys have a different welcome basket than the guy around the corner.
Yeah.
You put marmalade in yours and he doesn't. Like, so unique.
It's true. It's
So
all
unique.
sales. It's all business, right? All business. Yeah. It's all process. You have your sales. You have your service. I mean, it's
I think that's the way it should be too. You should kind of, cut the house in half. We're investigating the service model on the indie side right now. We've been kind of looking into it, where it's just sales, and then we've got a phone tree that pushes everything over the service carriers.
100%.
Kind of that goosehead model,
dude. And what do they take for that? It's like 1.5%, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's of your 10 or 15, they take 1 point
all day long.
Yeah, so we're looking into it. So yeah, customer calls into the office, I hit the phone tree. 1 for sales comes to us, 2 for service goes to the carriers.
I love that.
What about the cross-sell potentials?
Yeah, there's always that concern for that. That was, I think, one of the things initially that has kept us from going further down this. But we're hearing some good reports from other people that they can spend their time writing $50,000 a month in premium per person because they're not busy thinking about, I need to spend my time following up with Mary Jo about that umbrella.
Yep.
So maybe you didn't deepen the relationship with one person, but you're able to write double the premium because you've got one mission, not 2.
And if you look at the metrics,
yeah,
we always
this is what we do. We step on each other, but you can't. And I'll steamroll them. You can't replace the time, right? That hour, whether it's strengthen the relationship for the umbrella or it's secure a new home auto life umbrella, right?
Yeah,
hour back.
That's it. 1 hour a day per right, and you got to decide how you're going to spend it. What's going to get you a bigger ROI? And so we're starting to measure this stuff inside our agency right now. We've got more data than we've ever had in our entire career of insurance agents than we do right now. We just got data for everything.
That's awesome. And that's it right there. If you look at the business side of it, if you take out the human element out of there and you look at the business side, it's like, dude, if you lost an extra 5%, what is it going to be, a 5 or 10% for customer service, right?
Yeah, maybe.
If you lose a 5 or 10%, but you invest that money back into sales instead, your ROI is going to be much bigger.
Sure. Yeah, so we're starting to peel the onion back a little bit layer by layer and look at like how we can slowly incorporate service into our agency, or we're pushing it out of the agency and finally put it over to the carrier side. But it's just one of those things that nothing happens overnight. We kind of inch into things so we don't overcommit.
Yeah,
so we're out with that.
And to your point, Craig, I think like if I was doing that model, have them service and then be active on the renewals and stuff like that. So you have your service people following up with people months before and then asking, or your salespeople following up with them before and doing those, throw them on a dialer and just You know what I mean? So it's always active. So it would be active cross sells rather than passive cross sells.
Well, shit. Why not even automate it further and have a text go out instead so that they're not even dialing? So
that's what we do in our agency at renewals. I mean, we are letting the automations kick in 60 days prior. And then we really only engage with the people that are responding until we get to that like last minute. And then we've got a call in there, like, hey, no one has heard from this person. The automations failed on 20%. It's just what it is. And so you're gonna have to manually call 20% of them at renewal.
And we talked to Tolga from Agency Zoom, and it was kind of that we were talking about customers about how, I'm sorry, Craig, clients.
Yes, clients.
Right.
I was making the face because of the recording fiasco.
Oh, dude. We'll talk about that later. So you have you definitely have clients that don't want to be engaged with that much. You know what I mean? You have the people that want the hour-long conversation of coverage and all the different things that we can do, and then you have the people that's like, dude, don't bother me. Like, I don't want to talk about insurance. I might fall into that category, but yeah, but I don't want to talk about insurance. You guys don't bother me. So to your, like, that's what's awesome about the automation is, hey, if they respond, obviously they want to talk. If they don't, then they don't want to talk. So it makes
they don't want to talk.
Put the ball in their court.
You want to see it?
I mean, there's a lot of people that the automations hit them, and right now is not a good time. So maybe that they don't want to talk, but you just caught them at a bad time. And so,
you guys ever get one like this? Look at it.
Oh, dude, now I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Well, that's just
for
for
that part.
It's all right. It's fine. Can you believe that? Would you ever respond to somebody that way?
So is that part of your opt-out rate? Like, is that going to hit your opt-out rate?
I was gonna say. So
no, he didn't follow the instructions.
So Austin, what do you see that's a problem about that page right there?
Well, for me, the thing that I see, because I know the Twilio rule set is like they only have 7 filters that they're looking for to opt people out automatically for you.
Yeah.
EF alone is not one of them.
All caps. What about if it's in all caps?
That's where the system breaks, and you have to manually go pull that person out. That kind of stinks. That's the problem with that picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff, like the list of stops, might mean there's a problem with the process.
We were working through that yesterday.
I love that. I've not
Some
seen.
text went out to the
page
wrong
with that.
list, and
So you guys tracking your opt-out rates currently inside your agency? Do you guys know, hey, I'm
Rico is
3,000 texts a month, and of those 3,000, 2% are saying stop. You guys know?
I wish. We don't.
No, I don't think we have that.
See those analytics.
Yeah.
So we have that data. I love that data.
I know.
It's one of the 10 pieces of data that we get. We've got, like I said, more data than I've ever had as I have so much data. I mean, it's spilling out of my ears how much data I have. And it's like, how do I measure it all is the challenge that we're at right now. It's like, I got to go pay some Excel savant 10K to take it and interpret it and spit out something. And I've been in this guy's channel for a few months. I'm just trying to figure out the most cost-effective way, because I'm not loaded, to get the data that gives us, it tells us where we're most efficient.
So could you build a dashboard to just a dashboard of all those analytics? So if you map it out and you have your little gauge for your text, your little gauge for who is engaged with you, what the percentage of people that are actually engaged with you, what percentage isn't.
Yeah, we've got the ability to do that. Do I have that exact report potentially at this moment? No, I don't think it's there. But we could, if I wanted to go make that report and spend, an hour on designing it and setting it up and letting it, we could have that tomorrow.
For like a dashboard for, okay, let's go way, way back. Not a lot of, like, let's say a lot of the people might not know who you are.
There's a possibility.
So we're going.
As much as I teach automations, I don't tell everybody I teach automation.
Right. So we got Austin Moorehead. You used to be in a captive agency, is that correct?
Yeah, I was a State Farm agent. Started in 2015, had a killer first year, something like 1.3 million in sales, 81 life apps.
Nice.
Made travel, and then I was like, this captivity is not for me. I just don't have that corporate in me. But now that I've been indie for a year, looking back, there was some real cool things about being captive. Everything just kind of worked in the first month.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. It's such an understatement.
Yeah.
On the indie side, you have to build everything. And so like it's the pro and the con. You can customize it and you have to customize it, right? As an independent.
Yeah. So then you got out of that. You were like a caged animal. You said,
Yeah.
I'm going indie. So then you started A&R with your buddy.
Yeah, it was my best friend, also another State Farm agent. We both looked at the market and said, State Farm's not where we want to be in 30 years. And we like the idea of a little bit more freedom. And so we started investigating, contracts to make the jump. And we went and looked at, 10 different, 20 different contracts on the independent side. And we ended up deciding on a kind of a regional firm here. And we lost a point in the process. We could have got a better deal at other places, but some things you can't put a price tag on. And the relationship that we have with our parent company is like, it was meant to be. It's kind of a match made.
That's awesome. And then, when did you guys start Conversion Kings?
Ooh, I think that was about 9 months ago. It was an accident. We just started getting too many requests to customize people's automations in the back end. And we've always taught it. I've been teaching it in the tribe now for over a year, to everyone that's in there. And I kind of poke around and I help people on the sidelines too. But yeah, somewhere around November, we started getting custom requests from people to build out, their entire agency's automation setup. And that, people are paying us 20, 30 grand, to do these things. It was like, well, maybe we have a business here.
Yeah.
And then it was born.
And framework, for somebody that goes, what's automation? I always hear about automations. What's the framework? What do you guys build it off of?
Well, so I use the term framework more for, what is the actual, what's the design of the automation in the back end? But the software platform that we use is Infusionsoft, and the telephone that we connect to get the bilateral, relationship that we're all after is TurboDial. So Infusionsoft and TurboDial. Cool. And it's the most customizable bilateral telephone, in my opinion, probably not really an opinion, it's pretty accurate, on the planet. And so, but again, like being an independent, the pro is that you can customize it, and the con is you kind of have to customize it.
Yeah.
So does your build out and your platform have the customization built into it? Or
yeah, our build does come with 30 status dispositions and 12 campaigns to support those statuses.
Jason's getting all excited.
No, I've seen it. So this is just straight my opinion. Whatever that's good for, right? But dude, Austin's system is so freaking awesome.
Thanks,
and
man.
I would definitely go that way, but we're doing more call center style. And I would say that the front end is a little bit more staff friendly.
Sure.
And that's pretty accurate, I would say. But then in my head, I'm a tech nerd. So I'm like, dude, like the Infusionsoft stuff is freaking awesome. And I think that it really hinges. I think if you're indie, I think it's kind of a no-brainer to go with Austin's system, and that's the exact system I would go with. But I think as a captive, I can't use all those customizations. I can't use a lot of them. So that's where
you'd be surprised.
I know.
I'll convert you one of these days, bro.
I know. You probably
got
will.
No limitations on text messages.
Yeah.
Got 2 text messages per if you want to send 30 text messages. But at the end of the day, you really shouldn't. I mean, if they're not responding, why increase your spam rate with the carriers?
And then with the TCP, whatever.
Oh yeah, and then at the end of the day, do you want to be breaking laws?
Right.
No, not really. I mean, I don't. I try and stay within compliance. 1% opt-out rates.
Yep.
That's just kind of the trick. You have to know how to manage that stuff, though.
And you have the analytics.
And you have to be able to at least go back and see the reports at a minimum.
One of my favorite things about your system is that you can build if thens. So like you can build in AI text messaging, which we talked about before, which is so awesome.
Man,
that would be a game changer.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got, I think when we set out to kind of build this thing, it was like, well, what are the big players doing good, and what are they doing bad? The big players, in my opinion, what they were doing good was they had kind of like a robust telephone that could multi-dial, right? You can call 2 people at once. They can auto dial. When you hang up, it just starts calling to the next person. So we wanted some of like the basic features, but then it was like, well, okay, we know we want to kind of efficiently work through leads. But at the same time, I'm asking producers to tally up their energy and their effort all day, every day. Why can't the system do that for me too? So the deeper we get into the rabbit hole, we start to find that, 1 click can equal 5 steps that a producer used to be doing in the past. So, if you're an old school agency that's still picking up the phone and then hunting and pecking, 100 numbers a day, technology has come a long way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of agents in our world. Sorry for the step on.
No, it's all good.
I'm excited.
So I referred somebody over to Austin the other day, and he was asking me about both the systems and stuff, and he was talking about price. And when people talk about price, it's so funny when it comes to this stuff, because I mean, this is what I tell everybody. How much does a staff cost, right? Let's just say it's $3,000 a month.
Yeah, sure.
If they can do twice the amount of work,
who cares?
Would that be worth it to you? And how much would that be worth to you? So if it's a couple $100 or whatever it costs, it's a fraction of it. Then that's the first piece. The second piece is this: if they're writing twice as much business, making twice as much commission, would that help retain them?
Sure.
I know
100%.
the answer to this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've taken guys from zero, like brand new to an agency, to 30K in annualized premium in 1 month in the first 30 days on this system. We've taken guys from 0 to 50K in 3 months. And so I got a guy right now that I think is going to break 90K this month. Just writing personal lines. There's no commercial in it. Just working internet leads. EverQuotes, Mercury's. There's like a lead vendor down in Southern California. Dave Ramsey's. So they're just working internet leads. There's nothing fancy. There's no exclusive referral partner relationship for this guy. He's probably going to break, $100,000 this month. You need a system that can let you do
That is
double.
awesome.
You need a system that can let you do double.
Yep.
All right. I don't want to think about who I need to call next. I don't want to think about who I have to call tomorrow.
Exactly.
I want to do my job right in the moment and pen that process out for when it's due and forget about it and focus on the next sale. Just stay in the rhythm of like, hey, this is what we're selling right now. This is what we're selling right now.
And
so
with that
if the system can disposition, then you can do that.
Yep. And would that system be friendly for call center style?
In my opinion, the only thing that my system has that a call center needs is a status light for when a producer's on the phone. That's the only thing we don't have. But like we can transfer phones, we can set up call trees. We can get obviously the analytics behind it. You can put hunt groups into the telephone. So it certainly is good for call centers. You just don't get that status light, like red or green, if they're on or off.
What about
team spread out, across the building
globe,
or the nation? Maybe it might be hard. You have to like message, "Hey, are you free? I got someone calling for you." So status lights. I would like to get a status light eventually on our build.
That would be cool. Wow, I could talk about this stuff forever.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like that. Realistically, people always think the grass is greener on the other side, but it's just different, right? The grass is just different.
It's just different. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, there is a few competitors out there that it's like, whoa, those guys are doing some really cool stuff. I would like to try some of those things. And then there's just some guys like just don't even go anywhere near that. Like I'm a hater of some of these like soft phones, like Ring Central. Just because it's a soft phone doesn't make it cool, guys.
Yeah.
You can do a lot more than that.
Right. A phone should not be a phone today. A phone should be a feature.
It should be, yeah. And it should be a multi-tool. It should be a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yeah.
Right now, for this one, I need the corkscrew. We got to get the bottle, the top out of that bottle. So, and for the next one, I need a toothpick. Who knows?
Yeah. And it's just like this thing, right? If this thing could only, I'm holding an iPhone, but if it could only call people. It's like the calling now on a cell phone is just a feature, one small feature of what we actually use it for. And I think that that's kind of the same with an office phone, right? It's just a small feature.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully your telephone is doing a lot more than calling and texting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's what I get geeked out about. When we set out, it was like, how do we make our agency the most efficient agency on the planet? And it was through the one device that we use every single day to process business, our phone. And then it was attaching a brain to it that could give it that, that hypersensitivity for prospecting in the future. Right. So you got to get that CRM connected to it.
How many agents does that person in California have that's writing them?
How many agents do they have? They have 2 producers, 1 service. They're in the process of recruiting a second service, and they've got 1 VA in the Philippines. They might be looking for another VA. But they're actively recruiting. We also assist in recruiting. We've got some recruiting tools that kind of crush it. We can get 10 to 15 applicants a day on some of our stuff, which is nice.
That's cool.
And so we kind of assist in that arena as well. So we teach them how to, 1, use a bilateral telephone, and then 2, how to put butts in seats. And it's kind of it's the multi-package.
Yeah. And what would your biggest piece of advice be to agents, either freshly new or that have been kind of doing things the way they've been doing it for, and I would even say 5 years, because I'd say the last 5 years has been a drastic change. I wasn't even in insurance 5 years ago. So
we're just getting there. That's been a tornado. So for new agents, it depends. I think you need to step back and you need to admit some truths about your business and where you want your business to be, and then look at the things that you're doing today and ask yourself, very analytically, is this going to get me there? Are what we're doing today, is it going to have that skill and effect that we're looking for? And if that's not what you're after, then that's not what you're after. But if you're looking to grow, I think you need to, retrospectively look at it yourself. And then for the agents that are pre-established, I would say look at these young guys who are clawing tooth and nail to take your clients. They're having to be innovative for certain reasons. So maybe it's more of the bigger agencies, these $20 million agencies that need to be watching out for the younger guys. Because, in my opinion, we're the ones that are having to be innovative to keep up. It's often that we get into these independent brokerages that have been around for 3 generations, and you go into them and they barely have a management system set up, or their management system's outdated, and they've got this mega book. It's like, whoa, I can't wait to steal this. You guys are not supporting your customers in a way that we can, It's kind of, so like for established agents, I think looking at the tech and going, hey, how can we use this inside our agency for our older clientele that maybe are not used to this. And then when you guys commit to the tech, it's like ease into it. I wouldn't say go full bore, because maybe you've had a client for 30 years and they're not used to getting automated, communication from you. And that could be a little offsetting at first.
Yeah.
There's a fine balance, but I think everybody should be running towards this. And if you're not running towards automations and the way to kind of, increase efficiencies in your office, or at least have the data to interpret the efficiencies in your office, then you're going to fall. You're going to fall backwards a big step in the next couple of years.
And dude, people get tired, right? Like people get tired, and you're over here and the younger generation using the automation, just push a button.
Yeah.
And it does the work of 3 people or 4 people. Who knows, right? Like, yeah. I've had people, they're making 20 dials a day or 30 dials a day in my 10 years, right? And you're just like, what are you doing? Yeah. And then over here, you have somebody else that's doing 400 dials a day by pushing just 1 button.
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, texts are going out and emails.
Emails and voicemail drops.
It is literally that Swiss Army knife, like just all these things open and it just happening. Yeah. And no effort, right? Like no sweat on the brow.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think in the future for us, like right now, we've just got a phone that we have a person that's telling it, hey, these are the most hot leads right now based off the way that you statused it or dispositioned it, 6 months ago. But eventually we'll be able to start plugging in data to enhance who the hot lead is. Like, hey, this person has been, looking for insurance somewhere on the internet, or this person's rate, discrepancy versus 6 months ago today is more favorable for your agency. Maybe you should focus on this person.
Wow.
And so the data's coming now. We're going to start to be able to narrow down out of the 100 X states that we're working this month to maybe the 10 that we need to be like chasing.
So it's actually going to become time sensitive and without any brain power.
Yeah, exactly. The system's
The
just,
system
just reading the data and interpreting it. So we've taken everything out to Google. We give Google all of our data because they give us the best reports. And so Infusionsoft plugs right in, to Google and through Google, spreadsheets and Google Studio, we're starting to get these overlay maps of everything that says, wow, you were really moving the needle in this area because of this. And so that's the power that we wanted. It was just like, hey, how do we get our data in a way that we can manipulate it? And Infusionsoft was the key for that.
Dude, you got to start like a vlog of just.
I don't have time. I work like 90 hours a week, in my agency and everybody else's agency.
Throw a camera up, man. I mean, that's interesting alone. With all that you're doing, dude, just hire someone to just sit with the cell phone and videotape you.
Nonstop, yeah. And we've got VAs plugged inside our agency. And my VAs, like everyone else's VAs, are insurance VAs. Mine are automation VAs. They don't have time for insurance. So we've got full-time automation VAs that can build at my level. I mean, these guys are technicians from the Philippines, and we're just stealing them at the rate that we pay, and they're happy. $5 an hour, and these guys are so stoked, and they can do stuff that you would pay an American, $10K a month for. So, wow. Yeah, it's an under leveraged asset that I think a lot of people aren't using right now is VAs.
I think that somebody that doesn't know any of this world that's listening to this right now, their mind is going to melt.
Melting.
Like, what are these guys talking about? It's definitely not insurance.
But it is, right?
It all is. Yeah.
Dude, now we're not talking about doing the work of, one person doing the work of two people. You're talking, especially with like VAs building Infusionsoft. It's like,
yeah, we should have my VA get on here. I think he'd probably do a much better interview than me. I mean, he can tell you everything.
Next week.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll have to tell him, hey, Don, they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to you.
Dude, that would be a good follow-up to this for any nerd that wants to watch this. Say, dude, we got next level. Like, if you want to see part 2, that's next level.
Yeah, we could pull the curtain back one of these days, and I could let you see the the operation for me and the VAs. I just spend like how we're right now on Zoom. I mean, it's all day, 8 hours a day. Me and him are plugged in, and it's like, hey, I need you to do this task, and he runs and does that task, and then I'm off doing something else. Like VAs. Yeah. As much as I love automation, if I could have 100 VAs, I think that's where I get happy, just because of the price.
It's also mind-bending that you can just do that. The fact that the three of us are communicating and having this discussion in 3 different places, being able to look at each other real time. I mean, that's remarkable, right? 2019 is just, it's insane. All the stuff in the world is also insane. But here, technologically, what we can do, right? Just crazy. Like you're sitting there with a guy in your office that's in the Philippines all day. Just looking like he's sitting in the decks.
He might as well be next to me. Yeah. And because our entire business, at least mine, is 100% digital, and there's nothing he can't do.
That's nothing
he can't do. So he's already inside. So we've got we dropped a course to, again, humble brags, but we dropped a course to teach people how to build these telephones and how to build the automations and how to get into the weeds of this stuff and to kind of geek out like we do. And he can teach it and he can lead it, he can instruct it, and he does. Weekly, he guides people through an automation class. And I took him from 0 to this in like the last 6 months, and now he's teaching people. That's pretty cool.
So for somebody that gets super excited and wants to do this, what is the ramp up time? Like let's say somebody went from they're smiling and dialing. Yeah, they're smiling and dialing, and they've got 40 file cabinets back here. How do they become Austin?
There's 2 ways. I think you either take a course. We provide one. You take a course that's kind of got a mentor for the process. And I would say a niche specific course. So if you're not in insurance, I wouldn't take an insurance course. If you're an LO, definitely go down that road. But take a course that, that's kind of meant for your genre, or do what we do and stop doing everything else. So stop selling insurance, stop managing a team and put your face in it, and don't pull it up until you've mastered it. And that takes about a year and 90 hours a week.
It's a year.
About a year and 90 hours a week.
Easy. No problem.
If you want to dive in at the level that we have. Other than that, but no, I think the idea of the course that we created was so people wouldn't have to figure out all the things that we did wrong. Because I've made more mistakes than I've done wins. If you spend as much time as I do, you're gonna figure out more efficient ways to even automate. This is super, geek talk, but like leads come into the system and the system's going to kind of filter them all out, and then it's going to spit them back out. And like that filtering process sometimes can take, a campaign or something like that in the back end to kind of get right. And then 6 months later, you find a way to do it like in like one little sequence. And so it's the constant revision and revising of the campaigns to make them more efficient that we have kind of gotten to a place after a year of doing it. Could we do the things that we're doing now a year ago? Yes, we just do them more efficiently today. So, you could get into automations in my mind and be okay in the first month. But then that's when like the door opens and your mind blows and you go, I'm going to be in this rabbit hole for the next 6 years.
But I think we're talking beyond automation. Yes, automation is kind of the framework, but dude, when you're diving into, pulling data and figuring out what route they go down. That's straight up AI. Like you're building automation with AI built into it.
Yeah.
You're building the AI.
Yeah. We certainly build the AI. What we do is probably the most sophisticated prospecting and agency marketing platform. We were up there with the bigger players, even if we're not a big player. We are doing stuff that will challenge anybody right now. The best thing about it is that like, if you don't want to take a course and you want to self-learn, it is all out there for you to just, there's no barrier in my opinion, other than yourself. It's cool.
And somewhere in here, you talked about like, you basically can integrate with anything, right? Like you have Survey Gizmo, Wufoo, whatever.
Zapier, yeah.
It's all just pushing shit into the system. Oh no, we have
and then Infusionsoft, it's been the industry leading automated brain for at least 10 years. It's even more than Salesforce. Salesforce is a little stronger, but as far as like what the industry looks as the leader, it's Infusionsoft. And so beyond that Zapier connection, there's a ton of apps that connect to it natively. You don't have to have a middle app. Like for instance, Slack, we were talking about kind of earlier in the beginning of this. Slack connects directly to Infusionsoft. And so I don't have to have a middleman, which I love, because every time you have to add a layer, you increase that problem for failure. And so Slack's got that direct relationship to Infusionsoft, which is super cool.
So let's get really nerdy and tactical for a second. And I'm sorry, Jace, but
no, I love it.
Like how do you walk me through that? Because you were trying to explain it to me and my brain melted when you were talking about integrating your phone system with Slack. And for anybody, I don't think we'll have that part, but before we even started, Austin, I pulled up my Slack and Austin said, oh, well, how much of that is automated? I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So walk me through what you were saying and hopefully.
Well, so for us, like you guys, like when you buy leads, do you guys get like a pop in an email someplace when you get a new lead comes in from EverQuote?
It dumps into the system and then it calls it.
And the system starts ringing it and then your producers know that they've got a hot lead on. So our system I don't know if our system doesn't auto call like that. It auto calls differently. But at the same time that's doing it, Slack is also notifying us that, hey, there's a new lead that just came in. Right. So that's one example how we've automated Slack.
Okay.
And so it's just another place that keeps that story log of what's happening inside of our agency. In fact, let me just flip the screen share.
Which is great. Then you have oversight. You know that bing. Oh, a lead just came in. Right. So it's like, is somebody on that lead?
So like leads come in like right here live throughout the day randomly. And like you can click the lead and you can take the lead right into the CRM. There's a lead in the CRM. You can go back to Slack. And for us, if the lead's in Easy Links, then you can click that and it goes right into Easy Links into the lead, which is our AMS.
Oh, that's
so for me.
Okay.
it's that one click accessibility to the places I need to be to manage this lead. And it's just constantly in your face. And then we do another one. This is kind of my favorite one. This is the I Love Me channel. And so as we're doing like prospecting activities, this thing just fills up with like little, you see these cherries equal sales and stuff like that. So this is just the I Love Me channel. It's kind of fun to watch. It gamifies the agency to some degree.
Totally.
Wow.
So those are the things that we're automating. So it's when we're pushing buttons in one part of the system, or when leads are interacting with our database, it's just keeping us informed. So that's what I recommend to automate.
And just for the listeners, he's showing you some stuff on the screen, which you can see on YouTube, on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we just kind of quickly, I didn't want to get too much there, but yeah, we could do a screen demo one of these days.
Yeah, well, we could throw it up there. So Easy Links, is that your lead management, or is that your CRM?
It's our Easy Links is the AMS for us. So like State Farmers, they had ABS, and you guys have Alliance or eAgent? Which one is
eAgent?
So eAgent is the management system that does the downloads.
eAgent is the management system for the for current clients. So once we've sold them, it's in eAgent. Prior to eAgent, depending on what phone system you have, pretty soon everybody will have this one, I would guess.
Yeah, of course. You're all going to go to me. Or just do it on your own. That's what I recommend. Do it on your own, get stuck, and then come to me to fix it. At least you went down that road. Yeah, no, it's very cool. And we're just, we're real excited to kind of be at the epicenter of where this tech is at, so we can just find these new little bells and whistles. I think I kind of get bell and whistle syndrome sometime. Like I'll find this new thing that I can automate, and then maybe I spend a day playing with it when I shouldn't. I should be doing other things. It's like, what?
Totally. I do the same stuff. Yeah, it's horrible. But dude, I mean, honestly though, we all have our superpowers and stuff that that's what makes you good at what you do, is because you do make those, I mean, I guess on an outsider would say is a bad decision, right? Or like Russell Brunson, how much time he spent losing and failing for years. It's like, dude, that's what equals the wins.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'll wake up in a couple of years and I think that we'll probably have some of the best analytics on the market. Hopefully but we're a couple grand, in the hole to get some Excel savant in here to kind of interpret the data. So if there was any Excel savants out there listening, we're hiring.
Dozens of them.
Yeah. Got to be a savant though. I'm not looking for A+. I'm looking for savant.
Not idiot savant.
Yeah. I want mega savant.
So what were the two Google things that you were, I don't think I've heard of those before. What was it? The two analytics?
Google Sheets. So it's just like Excel.
Oh, okay. Right. I know that. Okay.
Right. Which I'm a fan of.
We use that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next one is Google Studio. It takes that data and it gives you really pretty dashboards. And it tells you, it's just your dashboard, Google Studio.
So the data's dumping into
Studio.
Google Sheets.
Yeah.
And then reading it.
Yep.
Okay.
A little three-way action there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite kind of action.
It is. Everybody's.
So where can we find, so you have two things with Conversion Kings that I think people might want to check out after listening to this. First one is the program, right? Where can we get that? If we
so you can go to our website. It's conversionkings.biz, and there's some information about what we teach, and there's some information about the system. And you can sign up for like a demo call with me, and we can do like a screen share and I just walk you through some of the the bullet points. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is we have a course or like a closed Facebook group where we meet daily and weekly on this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you have to you got to go to the website for the course too. Both places have the same point of entry.
The Facebook group is locked down unless you're a member.
Yeah. We try and keep it that way. So the neat thing about the group, in my opinion, is everyone that's currently in there has got a book above 5 million. And so you're only talking with agents, and that's probably going to lower as this popularity starts to grow. But today, the talent pool is really, really unique, in my opinion. So we just found agencies of this caliber need better solutions. They're starting to realize that they're missing these inefficiencies without us. But yeah, so the caliber of the quality of the agent in there is pretty good right now.
That's awesome.
Talk to me in a year. Like, awesome, how's that quality? It's a bunch of $1 million agents that just got started last week.
That's great. I mean, there you go. If you had a $1 million agency in 1 week.
Yeah, there you go. Possible. Maybe they bought it.
Well, cool,
awesome.
man. Thanks so much. For doing this. It's so interesting. And I would love to go deeper and deeper into all the nerd stuff. It's so much fun.
Yeah, we'll next time me and you will just catch some sidebar stuff and we'll just tinker for an hour. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I want to see that.
For sure. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thank you, buddy. Well,
we know you're busy, man.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in the show notes so it's easy to grab. And
yeah, when's it gonna be ready? Because I'm gonna dump it out on the interwebs for you.
Jason?
So what we're doing right now is we're actually we'll probably end up cutting this out, or maybe not, because I like putting weird stuff in. What we're doing is we're recording a few extra because Craig's going to Hawaii. It's really hard to be Craig. Craig's going on
do like
vacation.
one a week.
One Hawaii trip a week. No, I think
we're doing a couple extra.
One or two a week, but we did 4 yesterday? 3 or 4 yesterday? 3.
Yeah. Well,
you guys gonna drop this in a month?
We did 2.5. We did 2.25 yesterday because someone messed up with the record button, and
rookie.
I have to call him, and let him know. Now that this is out there publicly, I guess. Terrible.
So the answer to that is never.
No. Okay. So it's at least 1 to 2 weeks. 1 to 2 weeks. It'll be.
Then I'll drop it in the lab. I don't think anyone's dropped your guys' podcast in the lab yet.
Oh man,
that'd be awesome.
That'll get some listeners. We're getting about 300 per episode after a few weeks, so we're getting pretty good listenership.
Nice. Well, the timing of this podcast for me couldn't be better.
Yeah.
We just did the course. We just announced it 2 days ago. Only one post. I made an organic post, and that's the only advertising we've done so far.
Yeah. Well, you're going to blow up. Your server's going to overheat.
How much is the course? I hate asking.
The course is $3,000 to take it, and then it's we're giving like a discount for the first 25 people, of course, like everybody does. And then it's $99 for the group after the fact.
Cool.
Yeah. It's but for me, if I'm going to be 100% like in these automations, I got to make some money at it.
Totally.
So we're hoping I can get like 10 signups a month. I just need like $30,000 a month to be happy.
And what's the give us the quick value bullet points of that, because everybody's going to go 3,000, right? Like,
I don't know. I think people are going to go 3,000 to learn from the most automated person on the planet. No brainer.
Yeah,
no brainer.
But for somebody who doesn't know you, for somebody who's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Well, I also kind of spin it this way too. When I talk to guys, like, you can spend $2,000 here, $5,000 there, $10,000 here, whatever. But you're going to spend it. You just need to decide what path you're taking your agency down this year. Is it marketing? Is it automation? Is it, I don't know. Is it swag? I'm not sure,
Right.
So I think sooner or later, I'm going to be everybody's option. Maybe this is not the year that you need to teach your agency automation, but if you're not investing into your agency, then you're going to be falling behind. So I don't think it's a hard sell for me. It hasn't been. You just have to be at a place where you're ready to make this your thing.
And I would say this, as far as that, on advocating on your behalf, is that it will probably make that money back within a month, right?
Yeah, well, the agency that we had that started in January, and then we turned the system on like at the end of January. They did $50,000 in January, and they're doing $100,000 a month now. So we're doubling their premium within a few months. That's a no-brainer.
That's one staff for 1 month, and you're not going to need one of those staff So it pays for
Yeah,
itself.
exactly. Or maybe hopefully you can get double the premium and keep growing. So they went on a recruiting streak. It's like, man, this thing is working so good. How we put more butts in seats?
Well, you need less seats, right? So then the cost of the system. What's that cost? The system cost?
The first seat is more expensive, but it comes out to be about $150 per person.
Okay.
Total, CRM, because you do get the full CRM phone and minutes, because we get Twilio pricing for minutes
And unlimited text.
points. I mean, we'll teach you automations. And my thing is, I've always said, like, I will set you free. You will never be dependent on another agency again, or like another company again. As much as like you're using me to get that, to accomplish that goal, eventually through the knowledge, you'll never need anyone to help with your agency again. Like, you don't have to go to this vendor or that vendor because the other vendor's doing some weird stuff. You're just in control of your own.
You're holding the hand to get the person to the point where you can just let them free.
Yeah.
Freedom.
That's what I offer.
I love it. And like you said, Infusionsoft, #1 CRM platform in the world right now.
Yeah.
That knowledge is huge. So
huge.
Super cool.
Cool, dudes. I kind of feel jaded that we didn't say dude like every other sentence the whole time we were. I'm a proper West Coast boy.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like we needed to dude it out for a minute.
Dude.
That's true. Dude, we should do like a dude intro.
Definitely.
And then splice it at the beginning.
If you guys got the editing abilities, dude it up.
Dude it up. This is it.
Dude, we edit.
Good.
Dude. Where are you from? You're from West Coast?
Portland, yeah.
Oh.
Do they say dude in Portland? It's kind of
semi
weirder there.
We grew up saying dude a lot. Me and Ricky are super dudes. Like, it is best in here.
Ricky says dude.
Yeah, we're super dudes. I've been saying kind of bro and like bruh and like brew lately.
What's with the bruh?
With the bruh.
It's spelled wrong.
That's a tribe thing, kind of, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. A lot of people in the tribe say bruh.
Bruh.
Frank says bruh.
But he says like bruh with a V, like B-R-U-V.
17-year-old thing.
What is that? Is that Bruce? Is that Bruce?
Yeah,
I love it. I love anything that's just not like typical insurance.
Which is us, all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm just gonna keep sitting here jabbering. So.
All right, last thing. We'll leave with this. Pick something that's your favorite on the wall behind Jason.
Oh, here, let me. I've got this thing
hyperimposed.
How do I get back to gallery view?
This is how we usually start the show. Right here is we hide.
Oh man, I'm just gonna have to go with some Bill and Ted's, I think.
Oh,
I like that one too.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. Solid choice.
Yeah,
can't wait to see number 3.
There really isn't a bad choice.
I mean, Rad is pretty good too. Are you kidding me? You got Rad on the wall.
I know, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Gleaming the Cube is in the works.
Ooh.
I really want Gleaming.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
All right, Austin. I'm gonna kick you off.
You.
We're gonna do our first episode of Coffee Talk right now.
Yeah, we're gonna start a coffee
Look
talk.
for Coffee Talk.
Right,
We talk about dogs, daughters. All right. See you, brother.
Later.
All right, bro. Thanks so much.
Your Insurance Dudes podcast is sponsored by Agency Vault, an industry leader in agency coaching, hiring and retaining top talent, and sales training with the 7-step trusted advisor sales framework. Are you up for the challenge? For $99, you'll get 28 days of access and an opportunity to join our private platinum coaching group. For more information, navigate to www.agencyvault.com.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.